The financial system, as we know it, is on shaky ground. We've seen it teetering for years. Recessions, bailouts, and rampant inflation are all symptoms of a deeper problem. The old system, built on debt and fiat currency, is unsustainable. But from the ashes, a new system is emerging. One based on transparency, stability, and real value. This isn't some conspiracy theory, it's the natural evolution of money. Just like we moved from bartering to gold to paper money, we're on the cusp of another major shift. This time it's about harnessing technology like blockchain and quantum computing to create a more secure and equitable financial world. Are you ready for what's next? Because the future of finance is being written right now. The new financial system being discussed, often in relation to the global currency reset, GCR, revaluation, RV, and the shift toward asset-backed currencies, is expected to bring significant changes to banking, the US dollar, cryptocurrencies, and even broader aspects of the economy like housing prices. Here's an overview of the potential impact in each area based on current discussions and theories. 1. How will the new financial system change banking? Asset-backed currencies. One of the key changes will likely be the move from fiat currencies like the US dollar to asset-backed currencies. This means that national currencies could be backed by tangible assets such as gold, silver, or other commodities. This shift is aimed at creating a more stable and transparent monetary system that is less prone to inflation and manipulation. Quantum financial system, QFS. There is speculation that the quantum financial system, a new advanced and secure financial system, will replace traditional banking. The QFS is designed to be transparent, secure, and resistant to fraud, potentially eliminating the need for intermediary banks in certain transactions. This could reduce costs, increase transaction speed, and enhance security for individuals and businesses. Decentralization. Some expect a shift away from centralized banking, meaning people might have more control over their own finances through decentralized systems or even blockchain technologies. Traditional banks might serve different roles, focusing more on asset management or financial advising rather than handling all transactions. 2. What happens to the US dollar? Decline of fiat currency. If the US transitions to an asset-backed currency system, the fiat dollar, the current form of the US dollar not backed by any physical asset, could lose its dominant status. This shift might devalue the dollar significantly as it is currently sustained by debt and the global trust in the US financial system. Revaluation. Some believe that after the GCR, currencies like the US dollar will be revalued to reflect their new asset-backed status. This could stabilize the dollar's value, but at a lower level than its current inflated value. Other countries' currencies might also revalue according to their assets and economic conditions. International trade. If the US dollar loses its status as the world's reserve currency, international trade could increasingly be conducted in other currencies or even cryptocurrencies, depending on global agreements. This would reduce the dollar's influence on the global economy. 3. How will cryptocurrency play into this? Digital currencies. Cryptocurrencies, especially those backed by assets or integrated into national systems like central bank digital currencies, CBDCs, could become key players in the new financial system. Many speculate that blockchain technology will underpin the new system due to its transparency, security, and decentralization. Potential integration. Certain cryptocurrencies that are seen as stable and reliable, such as Bitcoin or Ethereum, could be integrated into this new system, serving as alternatives or complements to asset-backed national currencies. Governments and central banks are also exploring creating their own digital currencies, CBDCs, that can be regulated and issued directly by governments. Crypto's role in banking. Crypto could further decentralize banking by allowing individuals to hold, exchange, and invest their assets without the need for traditional banks. The rise of decentralized finance, DeFi applications, built on blockchain technology, could enable peer-to-peer lending, trading, and investing. 4. Will prices go down for housing and other goods? Housing market. If fiat currencies lose value and asset-backed currencies are introduced, the prices of assets like housing could stabilize or potentially decrease, as the inflated values tied to debt-based systems could correct. Housing prices are largely driven by credit availability and speculative investments, so a reset could potentially lower prices in the long term. Other goods, prices for other goods and services might also stabilize or decrease as inflation is controlled in a new asset-backed system. A more stable currency would mean prices aren't subject to the same inflationary pressures, making day-to-day goods more affordable in the long run. Initial volatility. However, in the short term, there may be significant volatility as the system transitions. Some prices might spike initially due to uncertainty or supply chain disruptions before stabilizing under the new system. Conclusion. The banking system could become more decentralized and transparent, with a focus on asset-backed currencies and possibly blockchain technology playing a significant role. The US dollar may lose value as a fiat currency and be replaced by an asset-backed currency or heavily revalued. Cryptocurrencies and blockchain technology could become integral to the new financial system, either through government-regulated digital currencies or decentralized alternatives. Housing prices and other inflated goods could eventually decrease as the economy stabilizes under the new system, though there may be volatility during the transition. These changes will depend on how smoothly the transition happens and whether governments and financial institutions can adapt to the new paradigm effectively. To expand on the potential effects of the new financial system, let's dive deeper into several critical areas: banking, the US dollar, cryptocurrencies, and economic factors like housing prices. 5. The future of banking in the new financial system. Transparency and accountability. One of the primary goals of the new system is increased transparency in banking. This could involve real-time transaction tracking through blockchain technology or quantum systems that ensure every transaction is secure and immutable. This would reduce the risk of fraud, manipulation, or hidden fees. Smart contracts and automation. With the integration of blockchain and the potential quantum financial system, QFS, banking could rely more heavily on smart contracts, automated, self-executing contracts where terms are written directly into code. This could streamline services like loans, mortgages, or even insurance, making processes quicker, more accurate, and less reliant on intermediaries. Banking for the unbanked. The new system could also provide access to financial services for people who are currently unbanked, particularly in developing nations. Through digital wallets and decentralized finance, DeFi, individuals without access to traditional banks could participate in the financial system. This could lead to more financial inclusion on a global scale. Impact on traditional banks. Traditional banks might shift their focus away from holding deposits and issuing credit towards offering more advisory services, asset management, and wealth planning. With decentralized systems and digital wallets, people may no longer need a bank to store and move their money. 6. The US dollar in a post-reset economy, dollar depreciation. In the transition to an asset-backed currency, the fiat dollar, which has no backing other than trust in the US government, could see a steep depreciation. The value of the dollar could drop as other nations potentially move away from the dollar as the world's reserve currency, seeking to trade in asset-backed currencies or a new global reserve currency. BRICS and the dollar's influence. The rise of alternative currency systems, such as those promoted by the BRICS nations, Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, could diminish the dominance of the US dollar. If major countries shift their reserves and trade agreements away from the dollar, this could accelerate the dollar's decline. A multipolar currency world could emerge where different regions use their own asset-backed currencies or digital alternatives. Transition to a new US currency. As the dollar is revalued and backed by assets like gold, its purchasing power could stabilize. The US Treasury may issue a new currency, often referred to as the US Treasury note, distinct from the Federal Reserve note, that would be gold or asset-backed. This new currency could coexist with the digital currencies being developed by the Federal Reserve, a form of central bank digital currency or CBDC, offering both physical and digital options. 7. The role of cryptocurrencies. Stablecoins, cryptocurrencies that are pegged to stable assets like gold or national currencies, could play a vital role in the new financial system. Stablecoins could serve as the bridge between fiat currencies and fully asset-backed currencies, providing a level of security and trust in value while utilizing the speed and efficiency of blockchain transactions. Regulation of cryptocurrencies. Governments are likely to regulate cryptocurrencies more heavily as they play a larger role in global finance. While decentralized cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin and Ethereum may continue to thrive, government-backed digital currencies, CBDCs, could dominate the space for everyday transactions and institutional use. The distinction will likely become clearer between utility tokens for specific services and value storage cryptocurrencies. Blockchain's broader adoption. Cryptocurrencies will bring more than just alternative forms of money. Blockchain technology itself could underpin entire sectors of the economy, creating decentralized, transparent, and automated systems for trade, supply chains, real estate, and governance. Disintermediation. Cryptocurrencies and DeFi are likely to disrupt traditional banking by removing intermediaries, allowing peer-to-peer financial transactions. Services like loans, savings, and investment could all be managed through blockchain platforms with fewer middlemen and lower costs for users. 8. Economic impact. Will prices go down? Deflationary effects of the reset. In an asset-backed system where currencies are tied to tangible value, gold, silver, commodities, inflationary practices like printing endless money would be curbed. This could have a deflationary effect where the real value of currencies rises and prices of goods and services drop or stabilize. Housing market corrections. Housing prices have been driven to extreme levels in many parts of the world due to speculation, easy access to credit, and low interest rates. If credit is less available and tied to real, tangible value, housing markets might cool off. In an asset-backed system, the focus could shift from speculative investments to real value, causing a correction in overinflated housing markets. This could mean lower housing prices and more realistic valuations for real estate. Mortgages and lending. If lending practices become more conservative due to the backing of real assets, mortgage rates may increase initially, but loans might become more affordable over time as currencies stabilize. The entire credit system may shift from debt-based to value-based, meaning fewer large loans with long repayment periods, but more sustainable, lower-cost housing markets. Commodities and goods. The prices of commodities, oil, food, metals, could stabilize or decrease once the currency is stabilized as inflation is controlled. In the new system, pricing would likely be tied directly to the real value of assets, reducing speculation and artificial price hikes. 9. Global trade and currency competition pars. Bilateral trade agreements. Many countries may begin to enter bilateral or regional trade agreements using asset-backed currencies or even crypto-based systems. This would reduce dependency on the US dollar for global trade. Major economic powers might develop their own systems for trade settlements, which could further accelerate the decline of the fiat US dollar. BRICS currency and global competition. The BRICS nations are discussing the creation of a new global reserve currency backed by a basket of commodities or currencies. If this materializes, it could further challenge the US dollar's role as the dominant global currency. The US would then have to either adapt to a multi-currency world or find ways to maintain its influence through military or economic means. Energy and resource-based currencies. Some speculate that currencies will also be backed by energy resources, oil, natural gas, etc., or agricultural commodities. Countries rich in these resources could see their currencies increase in value, while resource-scarce countries might have weaker currencies unless they can produce other valuable commodities or services. 10. Impact on debt and personal finances. Debt restructuring. One of the most significant potential effects of the GCR is the restructuring or even forgiveness of global debts. Many individuals, corporations, and countries are burdened with debt tied to the fiat system. A reset could lead to debt forgiveness or restructuring to align with the new value-based financial system. Savings and investments. Personal savings and investments may also shift toward asset-backed investments like precious metals, real estate, and other commodities, as traditional stock markets and fiat-based investments lose value. People may look for more tangible stores of wealth that are less prone to inflation and currency depreciation. Wealth redistribution. There's a possibility that the financial reset could lead to some level of wealth redistribution, especially if debt is forgiven or significantly restructured. Those holding significant debt could see relief, while wealth tied to inflated asset values might correct downward. Conclusion. The shift to a new financial system will bring profound changes. Banking will become more transparent, decentralized, and efficient. The US dollar could lose its dominance and see a revaluation as asset-backed currencies rise. Cryptocurrencies and blockchain will play a central role in decentralizing finance and driving innovation. Prices, especially in housing and commodities, could correct and stabilize in a deflationary environment, though the short-term transition may bring volatility. Global trade will likely shift away from the dollar, and we may see new resource-backed currencies emerge from regions like BRICS. The transition will depend on how these changes are managed, with potentially widespread effects on both national economies and individual finances. Yes, if things were to go badly during the transition to a new financial system or in the event of major economic disruptions, bartering could become an essential way to exchange goods and services. Historically, during times of financial instability, hyperinflation, or currency collapse, people have reverted to barter systems to meet their needs. Here's why and how having items to barter could be important. Why bartering might become necessary. 11. Currency devaluation or collapse. If fiat currencies, like the US dollar, lose significant value or collapse altogether, people may lose trust in money as a reliable store of value. In such scenarios, goods and services themselves become the primary means of trade. 12. Supply chain disruptions. Economic or financial instability could cause severe disruptions in supply chains, leading to shortages of essential goods. People might find it difficult to access certain items like food, medicine, or fuel, making bartering a way to secure necessities. 13. Breakdown of digital systems. If digital financial systems or banks become unreliable or inaccessible, especially during the early stages of a reset or in the case of cyber attacks, having physical items to trade could provide security and allow for continued transactions. 14. Community and local trade. In a crisis, local economies often revert to informal trade systems. Bartering would allow communities to stay functional and support one another, especially when formal economic systems struggle to keep up. What items are good for bartering? If you're thinking about preparing for a potential need to barter, here are some categories of items that are commonly in demand during times of economic instability. 15. Essential goods. Food. Non-perishable items such as canned goods, rice, pasta, grains, and dried beans can be valuable for trade, especially in times of food shortages. Water and filtration systems. Clean drinking water or filtration systems like water filters can become critical in a crisis. People will always need safe water, making it a valuable barter item. Medicines and first aid supplies. Over-the-counter medicines like pain relievers, cold medicine or antibiotics, and first aid kits could be highly sought after during shortages. Healthcare items are always valuable. Fuel, gasoline, propane, or wood for heating and cooking can be bartered, especially if there are disruptions in energy supply. Toiletries. Personal hygiene products like toilet paper, soap, toothpaste, and feminine hygiene products will be in high demand in any kind of supply chain breakdown. 16. Tools and skills. Manual tools, hand tools for gardening, repairs, or basic construction could become valuable if there is less access to powered equipment or new tools. Things like shovels, axes, screwdrivers, and wrenches will always be in demand. Batteries and solar chargers. Batteries for flashlights, radios, or small electronics and solar-powered chargers for gadgets can become important, especially if there are power outages or energy grid disruptions. Skills and labor. In a barter economy, labor and skills like carpentry, plumbing, mechanics, healthcare, and farming will be as valuable as physical goods. Offering your services in exchange for goods or other services will become a useful form of bartering. 17. Precious metals and trade items. Silver and gold. Precious metals have historically been used as a form of money and trade. Silver coins or gold jewelry could be highly valuable for bartering, especially if trust in paper currencies or digital transactions is low. Ammunition and firearms. In areas where legal and appropriate, ammunition and firearms can be valuable for bartering. However, this should be approached with caution due to potential safety and legal issues. 18. Everyday comforts and luxuries. Alcohol, alcoholic beverages such as whiskey or vodka can be useful bartering items as they are often in demand during hard times. They can be traded not just for drinking but also for sanitizing purposes. Cigarettes or tobacco? In many cases, tobacco and cigarettes have been high-value bartering items during economic crises. Even non-smokers may find that others value these for trade. Candles and lighters. In the absence of electricity, candles, matches and lighters will be crucial for lighting and fire starting, making them valuable items for trade. Blankets and clothing. Warm clothing, blankets and other survival gear could become necessary in situations where energy and heat become scarce. 19. Seeds and farming supplies. Heirloom seeds. Seeds for growing food are a long-term survival investment. If the supply chains for food are disrupted, people may seek to grow their own food, and having seeds will be crucial. Heirloom seeds, which can be saved and replanted each season, will be especially valuable. Fertilizer and farming tools. In an agricultural barter economy, items that help grow and sustain food production, fertilizer, farming tools, water storage systems, can be extremely useful and high value. How to prepare for bartering. 20. Stockpile useful items. Begin gathering non-perishable goods, tools, and essential items that you could use for personal use and bartering. Make sure to focus on practical items that are likely to be in demand during shortages. 21. Build relationships in your community. A barter economy works best when people trust each other and are willing to trade fairly. Developing good relationships with neighbors and community members will be key to successful bartering. 22. Learn skills, practical skills that can help others, such as basic medical care, repair skills, or food production, will always be in demand. These skills can be bartered in exchange for goods, and they have the added benefit of being non-perishable. 23. Secure storage and organization. If you're planning to stockpile goods for bartering, ensure that you have proper storage methods to keep your items secure, dry, and organized. Keeping an inventory of your barter-ready items can help you in negotiations later. Conclusion: bartering could become a practical solution if the financial system or the economy faces major disruptions. Essential goods, tools, skills, and even luxuries will become valuable trade items. Preparing by stocking up on necessary items, learning practical skills, and building a local network of trusted individuals can help you thrive in a barter-based economy, ensuring that you have what you need, even if formal systems break down. Would you like suggestions on specific items to focus on for your area, or more ideas on how to organize a barter network? The housing market could experience significant changes in the event of a financial reset or economic disruption, especially if the transition involves a shift to asset-backed currencies and a revaluation of the dollar. Here's what might happen to the housing sector under various scenarios. 24. Housing prices could decrease. Correction of overinflated prices. In many parts of the world, particularly in the US, housing prices have been artificially inflated due to easy access to credit, low interest rates, and speculative investments. If the new financial system limits debt creation and ties currency to real assets, this could lead to a correction in the housing market. Overinflated housing prices could drop significantly as speculative bubbles burst and the real value of homes is reassessed. Decreased access to credit. If banks and lenders tighten credit in the new system, it may become harder for people to get mortgages as freely as before. Fewer people being able to access loans means less demand for homes, which could drive prices down further. A more conservative lending environment would likely mean that only people with significant savings or solid financial footing could afford to buy homes, leading to a period of price stabilization or even decline. 25. Impact of inflation or deflation on housing. Inflation, if the transition to a new financial system creates short-term instability, or if fiat currencies experience hyperinflation before the reset, housing prices could spike temporarily as people try to put their money into tangible assets like real estate. People may rush to buy homes or land as a hedge against currency devaluation, pushing prices higher in the short term. Deflation. In the long term, if the new asset-backed currency system works as intended, we could enter a deflationary period where the value of money increases and prices for goods and services, including housing, decrease. In this scenario, housing could become more affordable, but the initial volatility during the transition might lead to some uncertainty about when the market will stabilize. 26. Shifts in demand for housing, urban versus Rural trends, economic disruptions, or changes in work patterns, such as the increased adoption of remote work due to technological advancements, could shift demand from urban to rural areas or vice versa. For example, if remote work continues to grow and technology infrastructure improves in rural areas, people may seek to leave expensive city centres, leading to a decline in urban real estate values and a potential increase in rural housing demand. Housing as a safe haven. During periods of financial instability, real estate is often seen as a safe haven asset. If the stock market and traditional investments are volatile, people may still want to buy property to preserve their wealth. However, if access to credit tightens or if the economy shrinks, this could be counterbalanced by fewer buyers in the market. 27. Real estate market volatility. Initial instability. The transition to a new financial system may lead to market volatility. Property owners could face uncertainty about the value of their homes, and some may rush to sell to lock in value, while others may hold off, waiting for the market to stabilize. This could create an unpredictable real estate market with price swings until a new equilibrium is reached. Evictions and foreclosures. In a scenario where many people are heavily indebted or unable to make mortgage payments due to economic instability, there could be a wave of evictions and foreclosures. This could lead to an oversupply of homes on the market, pushing prices down further. Governments may need to step in with policies to prevent large-scale housing displacement. 28. Housing affordability and rentals. Increased rentals. If fewer people can afford to buy homes due to tighter credit and economic instability, the rental market could see an increase in demand. Rental properties may become more valuable in the short term as people shift from owning to renting. However, if job losses and wage reductions are widespread, even rental affordability could become an issue. Government intervention. In times of crisis, governments often intervene in the housing market to ensure stability. This could include rent control measures, subsidies for first-time home buyers, or even government-backed mortgage assistance programs. Such interventions could stabilize the market to some extent, but might also prolong distortions if not managed carefully. 29. Real estate and precious assets. Land as a key asset. As currencies move toward asset-backed systems, land itself could become one of the most valuable commodities. Unlike fiat currencies, real estate has intrinsic value, especially if it includes resources like water, arable land for farming, or renewable energy potential. People may seek to invest in land over built properties, particularly in rural areas where self-sufficiency can be achieved. Housing for barter economy. In a worst-case scenario, where formal financial systems break down entirely and bartering becomes common, housing itself could become an important commodity. People may barter homes or land for goods and services, and property ownership could become a way to secure a stable source of income, renting, or to provide for one's basic needs, farming, shelter, etc. 30. What can homeowners and buyers do? Reduce debt exposure. If you own a home and are concerned about potential instability, consider paying down your mortgage as much as possible to reduce your debt exposure. Having significant equity in your home gives you more flexibility in uncertain times. Diversify your investments. Rather than relying entirely on real estate as your main asset, consider diversifying your wealth into other asset-backed investments, such as precious metals, agricultural commodities, or even cryptocurrencies. This could protect your wealth in case of significant housing market corrections. Plan for long-term stability. If you're planning to buy a home, aim to focus on properties that will provide long-term stability and utility, such as homes in areas with stable infrastructure, resources like water or energy, and good community ties. Rural properties with farming potential or homes with solar energy systems may become more desirable. Watch for market opportunities. While the housing market might be volatile, periods of economic resets also create opportunities. If housing prices drop, this could be a good time for buyers to enter the market or for current homeowners to upgrade. However, timing will be critical, and it's important to carefully watch market trends and avoid speculation-driven purchases. Conclusion. The housing market is likely to experience significant shifts in the event of a financial reset or currency devaluation. Housing prices could drop due to the correction of inflated values, tighter access to credit, and decreased demand. On the other hand, housing may serve as a valuable asset during periods of economic instability, particularly for those who seek to protect their wealth through tangible investments. Homeowners and buyers should prepare for potential volatility by reducing debt, diversifying investments, and focusing on long-term housing security in areas that provide sustainable living options. Are you interested in more specific strategies for homeowners or renters to navigate these potential changes? Here are specific strategies for both homeowners and renters to navigate the potential changes that could arise in the housing market during a financial reset or economic instability. Strategies for homeowners. 31. Pay down mortgage debt. If you own your home with a mortgage, focus on paying down as much of the mortgage as possible. This reduces your vulnerability to fluctuations in interest rates or a potential inability to pay. If housing prices drop and you have significant equity, you'll be in a stronger financial position. Consider refinancing if rates are still low, but keep in mind that rates could rise in a volatile financial environment, making loans more expensive. 32. Protect your home equity. In times of uncertainty, avoid taking on new debt or extracting equity from your home through a home equity line of credit, HELOC, unless it's absolutely necessary. By keeping your home equity intact, you ensure that you have a buffer if home values drop. If possible, increase your home equity by making extra mortgage payments to build a cushion in case of future price drops. 33. Diversify your asset holding. While real estate is often considered a stable investment, it's important to diversify. Consider allocating some of your wealth into asset-backed investments such as precious metals, gold, silver, commodities, or other tangible assets. Diversification can protect you from severe declines in real estate values and provide liquidity if you need to sell assets quickly. 34. Prepare for rising costs or inflation. Even if housing prices drop, you may face higher costs in other areas such as property taxes, utilities, and maintenance, especially if inflation affects basic services. Consider energy-efficient upgrades such as installing solar panels or improving home insulation to reduce utility bills and make your home more self-sufficient. If there are disruptions in energy supply, having a home that's less dependent on external resources could be a huge advantage. 35. Consider rural or multi-use properties. If you're considering a home purchase or relocation, look at properties with practical long-term benefits like rural homes with land for gardening or farming. These properties can provide food and resource security in times of uncertainty. Multi-use properties, such as those with rental units or land for agriculture, can provide additional income or barter opportunities during economic instability. 36. Stay updated on housing market trends. Follow housing market trends closely, especially during a period of economic reset. Housing prices could fluctuate, and you'll want to be prepared to make informed decisions about buying, selling, or refinancing. Be cautious of speculative bubbles. If housing prices spike due to people seeking tangible assets, it may not last. Wait for long-term stabilization before making any major financial moves. 37. Strengthen community and local ties. In times of economic distress, having a strong community network can provide support. Participate in local community efforts or housing co-ops where people share resources. Being part of a local barter network could be beneficial, especially if supply chains are disrupted. Your home itself might become a resource for others, for example, space for growing food or storing goods. Strategies for renters. 38. Negotiate long-term lease agreements. Secure a long-term lease if possible. In times of economic uncertainty, landlords may raise rents, especially if housing demand shifts from buying to renting. Locking in a stable rate now could protect you from price hikes. If you expect financial difficulties, try negotiating terms with your landlord that allow for flexibility, such as payment plans, or include a clause for lease renewal at current rates. 39. Build up a savings buffer. Renters should prioritize building an emergency fund. Economic volatility could result in job losses or reduced wages, and having several months of rent saved up can prevent financial strain. Savings could also be helpful in case rental rates increase or if you need to move quickly to find more affordable housing. 40. Explore rent-to-own opportunities. In a period where housing prices could drop or stabilize, consider exploring rent-to-own programs. These programs allow renters to gradually build ownership of the property while paying rent, giving you an opportunity to lock in current home prices. However, be cautious with these agreements and ensure they are structured in a way that works for your financial situation. 41. Look for rental incentives. During times of economic uncertainty, some landlords might offer incentives such as a free month of rent or reduced security deposits to attract tenants. Take advantage of these offers to reduce your upfront costs. As home sales slow, there may be a shift toward a more competitive rental market, which could give you more bargaining power as a renter. 42. Stay mobile and flexible. One of the advantages of renting is the flexibility to move. Keep your options open and monitor housing market trends. If prices drop and you're in a strong financial position, you could find a good deal to purchase a home. Alternatively, be prepared to relocate to a more affordable area if rents spike in your current location. 43. Barter skills or services for rent. If the economy takes a downturn, landlords may be more open to bartering or offering rent reductions in exchange for services. If you have skills such as home maintenance, gardening, or IT support, offer them in exchange for a rent discount. This strategy may also work in shared housing situations or co-living arrangements where the cost of rent could be partially offset by contributing services. 44. Monitor government assistance programs. Stay informed about government programs designed to help renters during economic crises. These might include rental assistance, eviction moratoriums, or subsidies for low-income renters. Be proactive in applying for these programs if you face financial hardship, as they can help you stay in your home during tough times. Additional considerations for both homeowners and renters. 45. Evaluate insurance coverage. In uncertain times, it's critical to ensure you have adequate homeowners or renters insurance. Review your coverage to make sure it includes natural disasters, theft, or other unforeseen events, as disruptions in the economy can increase risks. Consider adding riders for flood, fire, or earthquake damage if you're in a high-risk area. Economic instability often coincides with political or environmental unrest, which can affect housing. 46. Consider co-housing or shared living arrangements. Both homeowners and renters might benefit from shared living arrangements to reduce housing costs. Homeowners can rent out part of their property to generate extra income, while renters could explore co-living situations to split rent and utilities. Shared living can also provide community support and pooled resources, which are valuable in times of economic instability. 47. Watch interest rates closely. Economic instability can cause interest rates to fluctuate significantly. Whether you're a homeowner looking to refinance or a renter considering buying a home, timing your actions around interest rate trends could save you a lot of money. If rates are low, it could be a good time to lock in a mortgage, but if they rise quickly, it might be better to wait until the market stabilizes. Conclusion. For homeowners, the key strategies include paying down debt, diversifying assets, and being prepared for rising costs, while considering the benefits of owning land or rural properties that offer long-term stability. Renters should focus on securing long-term leases, building savings, and maintaining mobility to adapt to changing market conditions. Both homeowners and renters should watch the market closely, build strong community ties, and consider bartering services or entering co-living arrangements to reduce costs and increase security during periods of economic uncertainty. Let's work through a personalized action plan based on your housing situation and goals to navigate potential changes in the financial system or economy. To tailor the plan effectively, here are a few questions to help guide our strategy. 1. Are you currently a homeowner or renter? 2. Do you have any outstanding mortgage or rent obligations that you'd like to prioritize or address? 3. What is your long-term housing goal? For example, staying in your current home, downsizing, relocating, purchasing a home. 4. Do you have any particular concerns regarding housing, such as rising costs, interest rates, or the value of your property? 5. Are you in an urban, suburban, or rural area? Do you foresee wanting to move to a different type of area, for example, rural living for self-sufficiency? 6. What is your current financial? And understanding these changes isn't just about protecting your wealth, it's about thriving in a new economic landscape. For decades, our money has been backed by nothing more than the promise of governments. This system, known as fiat currency, relies heavily on the trust and confidence of the people who use it. Governments assure us that our money holds value, but in reality it is not tied to any physical asset. This is what's known as fiat currency. It is essentially a promise, a declaration by the government that the paper in your hand or the digits in your bank account are worth something. Its value is based on trust, not tangible assets. This trust is what keeps the system running smoothly. However, it is also its greatest vulnerability. But what happens when that trust erodes? When people start to question the value of their money, the entire system can begin to crumble. This erosion of trust can be triggered by various factors such as political instability, economic mismanagement, or even global events that shake confidence. We see inflation, economic instability, and fear. Hyperinflation can wipe out savings overnight, leading to long lines at banks and empty supermarket shelves. The consequences are dire and far-reaching, affecting every aspect of daily life. That's why the idea of asset-backed currencies is gaining traction. These currencies are tied to tangible assets such as gold, oil, or a basket of commodities, providing a more stable foundation for value. Imagine a currency backed by gold, oil, or even a basket of commodities. This would mean that the value of the currency is directly linked to real physical assets, making it inherently more stable, or even a basket of commodities. This diversification can further enhance stability, as the value is not tied to a single asset, but a range of valuable resources. Its value would be inherently more stable, less susceptible to the whims of politicians and central bankers. This could lead to a more predictable and secure economic environment, where the value of money is less likely to fluctuate wildly. This shift has the potential to revolutionize banking. With asset-backed currencies, banks would operate differently, focusing more on safeguarding real assets rather than creating money through loans. Instead of relying on fractional reserve systems, where banks lend out more money than they hold, asset-backed currencies could encourage a return to sounder banking practices. This would mean that banks would need to hold a greater proportion of their deposits in reserve, reducing the risk of bank runs and financial crises. Asset-backed currencies could encourage a return to sounder banking practices. Banks would become custodians of real value, not just creators of debt. This could lead to a more stable and secure financial system where the risks of over-leveraging and financial bubbles are minimized. Banks would become custodians of real value, not just creators of debt. This shift could restore confidence in the banking system, as people would know that their money is backed by tangible assets. Imagine a world where your money is safe, stable, and retains its purchasing power. This could lead to greater financial security for individuals and families, as well as a more stable and predictable economy. That's the promise of asset-backed currencies. They offer a vision of a more secure and stable financial future, where the value of money is grounded in real assets, providing a solid foundation for economic growth and stability. Get ready to hear a lot more about the quantum financial system, or QFS. It sounds like something out of Star Trek, but it's poised to revolutionize how we transact and interact with money. Picture a financial system powered by quantum computing. That means lightning-fast transactions, unhackable security, and an end to financial fraud. The QFS is about more than just speed and security. It's about creating a transparent financial system. Every transaction is trackable, eliminating the shadows where corruption and manipulation thrive. This could be a game changer for developing economies, fostering trust, and empowering individuals. Imagine a world where your money is secure, transactions are instantaneous, and the playing field is level. That's the potential of the QFS. Section 4. The dollar's uncertain future decline, revaluation, or something else. The future of the US dollar is a topic of intense debate among economists, financial experts, and policymakers. As we navigate through these uncertain times, it's crucial to understand the various scenarios that could unfold. The US dollar has long reigned supreme as the global reserve currency. For decades, it has been the cornerstone of international trade and finance, providing stability and predictability in global markets. But its dominance is being challenged. Emerging economies are pushing for a more diversified global currency system, and technological advancements like digital currencies are reshaping the financial landscape. Years of reckless spending, quantitative easing, and a ballooning national debt have eroded trust in the dollar. The US government's fiscal policies have led to concerns about inflation and the long-term sustainability of the dollar's value. Some experts predict a significant decline in the dollar's value. They argue that the combination of high debt levels and loose monetary policy could lead to a loss of confidence among international investors. Others believe a global reset could lead to a revaluation of currencies, with the dollar losing its privileged position. This scenario could see a shift towards a multi-currency system, where no single currency holds the dominant role. What does this mean for you? For the average person, these macroeconomic shifts can have significant implications for personal finances and investment strategies. It means diversifying your assets is more important than ever. By spreading your investments across different asset classes, you can reduce risk and protect your wealth from potential currency fluctuations. Don't put all your eggs in one basket, especially if that basket is tied to a single fiat currency. Diversification is a key strategy in managing financial risk. Explore alternative investments like gold, silver, and cryptocurrencies. These assets can provide a hedge against inflation and offer potential growth opportunities in a changing economic environment. These assets can act as a hedge against inflation and economic uncertainty. By including them in your portfolio, you can create a more resilient financial strategy. Remember, the goal is to preserve your wealth, not gamble on the future of any single currency. A well-diversified portfolio can help you navigate the uncertainties of the global economy and secure your financial future. Stay informed and seek advice from financial professionals. Understanding the broader economic trends and how they impact your investments is crucial for making sound financial decisions. The future of the US dollar may be uncertain, but by taking proactive steps, you can position yourself to weather any potential storms. Stay vigilant, stay diversified, and stay prepared for whatever the future may hold. Section 5. Crypto's place at the table, from Wild West to regulated player. Cryptocurrencies have gone from fringe technology to mainstream conversation. What was once a niche interest for tech enthusiasts and libertarians has now become a topic of discussion in boardrooms, government offices, and even among everyday people. The journey of cryptocurrencies from obscurity to prominence is nothing short of remarkable. Bitcoin, Ethereum, and countless others have captured the imagination of investors and the attention of governments worldwide. These digital assets have not only provided new investment opportunities, but have also challenged traditional financial systems. The allure of decentralized finance, or DeFi, has opened up a world of possibilities, from peer-to-peer lending to decentralized exchanges. While the early days of crypto were marked by volatility and a lack of regulation, the landscape is changing rapidly. In the beginning, the crypto market was akin to the Wild West, with dramatic price swings and numerous scams. However, as the market matures, we are seeing a shift towards more stability and security. This evolution is driven by both technological advancements and increasing regulatory oversight. Governments are exploring central bank digital currencies, digital versions of their own fiat currencies, utilizing blockchain technology. These CBDCs aim to combine the benefits of digital currencies with the stability of traditional money. By leveraging blockchain, governments hope to enhance the efficiency of payment systems, reduce costs, and increase financial inclusion. This increased regulation might seem counterintuitive to the decentralized ethos of crypto, but it's a necessary step for wider adoption. Regulation can provide a framework that protects investors and ensures the integrity of the market. It can also help to prevent illicit activities such as money laundering and fraud, which have been concerns in the crypto space. Clear regulations can foster trust and stability, attracting institutional investors and everyday users alike. When people feel confident that their investments are secure and that there are legal protections in place, they are more likely to participate in the market. This can lead to increased liquidity and more robust market dynamics. The future of crypto is intertwined with the evolution of the entire financial system. As traditional financial institutions begin to integrate blockchain technology and digital assets into their operations, we are likely to see a more seamless and efficient financial ecosystem. This integration can lead to innovations in areas such as cross-border payments, supply chain finance, and asset tokenization. It's a powerful tool that can promote financial inclusion, streamline transactions, and offer an alternative to traditional banking. In developing countries where access to banking services is often limited, cryptocurrencies can provide a lifeline. They enable people to participate in the global economy, send and receive money, and access financial services that were previously out of reach. As we move forward, the role of cryptocurrencies in shaping the future of finance will only continue to grow.